Greetings everyone, welcome to Just Advance. This game was played in the European Club Cup. With the white pieces, we have the current reigning world champion Gukesh Dommaraju facing off against India's number one, and that is Arjun Erigaisi. And this is going to be an epic matchup. So without further ado, let's start with this game here with the white pieces here. The Gukesh goes for d4. We have d5 by Arjun, knight to f3, knight to f6, and g3. This is the Tartak over attack. And here just going for c5. We have bishop to g2 and just c caps on d4. Castles now g6, and now just going for knight caps on d4. I've seen some early games of Arjun Erigaisi, and he used to play this a lot. So here just bishop g7. Now let's see if he has actually something in mind to be able to just go out there and try to maybe just go for reach out into his bag of all the openings and lines and try to go for maybe something to that can surprise Gukesh. But let's see, his c4 was played. We have castle, c captures, knight captures, and now just going for this knight to b3, knight to b6 was played. You could have also gone for a move like e6 in this position, and after this h4 you play h6, and after knight to c3 you play knight captures, b captures. If you go for this bishop captures, then you're in a lot of trouble, because the thing is that I can go for this bishop caps on h6, and you definitely don't want to trade here, because then dark square becomes weak and your position have a chance of collapsing. If you trade queen captures, rook captures, and after bishop to g7, you're just giving me a pawn for free. And definitely with the extra development that you've given me amongst all of those things, it's not going to be really easy for you after what will follow. But after this, knight to b3 here, knight to b6 was played, and now we have a4, and here just bishop to e6, just challenging that knight. But just comes queen caps on d6, and here we have rook captures a5, now just attacking that piece, but just bishop caps on b3 by Arjun. And the thing is that here a captures, but the thing now just knight to c6, and now how do you deal with that annoying pawn? Here just this bishop caps on c6 was played by Gukesh. We have b captures, rook caps on a7. You cannot even go for this rook caps on a7, because after b captures, bishop to d4, if you try to go for this, then just comes this bishop to e3, and we have bishop captures, f captures. That's going to be a really annoying pawn to get rid of. You cannot even go for something like this, because this comes in, and then I can just defend that, and it's on a dark square, so that's going to be much more burn to all of these things. But here after rook caps on e7, we have rook a to b8, not trading that. That was definitely a right choice. We have bishop to f4 now, but the thing is that here just e5, pushing the bishop back, and bishop to g5, but now just comes rook to e8, bishop to e3, bishop to f8 now, and now just going for this knight to d2, bishop to d5, rook to c8 was played here. And you could go for a move like c5 in this position, trying to just maybe stir up some trouble, because your position is not that good, because now you can see that that pawn is under trouble, and maybe that's all white has, and if you're able to get rid of that, you could be able to going for a draw. But here bishop captures will be coming, and after this bishop captures, rook e to d8, you play this rook a to a5, and after bishop to e6, knight to e4, just getting that nice centralized. And now the thing is that here rook caps on b6, rook a to b5, rook captures, and the thing is that I have the outside pass pawn. Only person who can push for a win in this position is definitely white, and it's going to be very difficult to try and hold this. And in Gukesh's hands it could be winning, although Arjun would have some chances to be able to draw this game, but they are very less. But after rook to c1, here rook e to d8 was played. Now just comes this bishop to g5, rook to d6, and here bishop to e3 was played, rook d to d8. But now Arjun is basically repeating moves, but the thing is that now you can see the engine evaluation completely shifting in Gukesh's favor, because there is a winning move in this position. And here will he be able to spot it? He does. He goes for this knight to c4, and now that not only activates the knight, but the thing is that here you cannot capture. If you capture, then this pawn comes under pressure. If you lose another pawn, you can say goodbye to the game, and that's the best move in this position, and that's the troublesome part. Here c5 was played, now trying to complicate things. We have knight caps on e5, rook caps on b6, but here just comes this knight to d7. Knight to d7 was not the best of moves, so I'm gonna ask you to pause the video and try and find out the only winning move in this position for Gukesh. Just have at it and beat India's number one. So congratulations to everyone who's able to find this move. The move that you want to play in this position is actually rook to d7, and after this rook to d6, you play this rook caps on d8, rook captures, bishop caps on c5, and after bishop to g7, attacking the knight, just knight to d3, and after bishop to e6, the thing is that game goes on. Here Gukesh is definitely better, but converting this is a different thing, because you have the bishop pair, and maybe, just maybe, somewhere along the line, if here Gukesh is not able to find the right idea and time pressure and something else, you might be able to consolidate. But after this rook caps on b6, we have knight to d7 by Gukesh, and knight to d7 is just completely missed idea. Here just comes this rook caps on b2, finally grabbing that pawn, and bishop to g5 was played by Gukesh again, but knight to f6 was a much better choice, because here after king to g7 you have bishop to g5, and after this h6 you play knight to h5. That comes with a check, also comes with an attack towards the rook. Here after this g captures, we have bishop caps on d8, and now finally after rook caps on e2 you play king to f1, attacking that, rook to e8, and after bishop to b6 now here just c4. So the thing is that you have the pass pawn, but I am up the exchange, so definitely better. But here bishop to g5 was played, now attacking the rook, rook to 8, and just knight to f6 check, finally going for it, but it's a bit too late. King to h8, now just comes knight caps on d5, we have rook caps on a7, and just bishop to f6 check, bishop to g7, bishop caps on b2, and here bishop caps on b2 was played, rook caps on c5. But the thing is that you're only up a pawn now, and it's against a bishop and a knight. Rooks will definitely get traded. So is that endgame going to be winning or not? Well, it's just too early to tell. Here just h5 was played, now just comes king to g2, king to g7, and here rook to c2 was played, now just comes rook to b7, e4 now, and here bishop to e5. But Gukesh is definitely going to try here f4, pushing the bishop back. We have rook to b2, rook caps on b2, bishop captures, e5 now, bishop to d4, and now just comes king to f3, king to f8, king to e4, bishop to g1 was played now. But the thing is that here you have to be really careful. Here knight to c3 was played, and the move that you want to play in this position is king to e7, get the king out. You can also go for a move like bishop caps on h2, but here king to e7 is a must. Maybe h4 you can also go for, but other than that nothing works. And here in this position Arjun did a grave mistake in the end game. Here he had time, he had like 7 minutes on the clock, but the thing is here he goes for king to g7, and this just completely blunders the game, because now they reach the 40th move, but this endgame is now completely over. Here Gukesh finds the best move in this position. After 40th move he takes his time and he goes for knight to e2, and here bishop to b6 was played. The thing is that if you capture this, then just the trouble is here king to f3, and this is just enough to win the game, because your bishop is just completely trapped, and that's really a stupid idea to capture that. But here after bishop to b6 now just comes h3, bishop to a5, and just f5, and here g captures, king captures was played, but now just comes bishop to e8, and there is no hope for in this position for Arjun. In knight to f4 was played, we have king to h6, knight to d5, king to g7, and knight to f6 was played, we have king to h6, h4 now, but just comes bishop to a5, knight to e4, and bishop to d8, knight to g5 comes. And the thing is that here trading does take place, but the thing is that this endgame is completely winning. King to g7, here g6 was played, f caps on g6, and just going for king to g5, and it was on this move, on just move 53, that here Arjun Erigaisi resigned the game. India's #1 resigned the game, and this game goes to the world chess champion. And the trouble is why he won and why Arjun resigned. The thing is that there is nothing you can do. It's black's move wherever you move. If you go here, if you go anywhere back, that's just really a bad idea. Obviously you cannot go here because I just pushed the pawn, so only square is f7, and once you play f7 I just push e6, you're going to be forced to capture. Or if you just go here I just capture it, and if you capture here, then thing is that I just capture this pawn. Next I'm capturing this, I'm creating a pass pawn. This is a completely winning endgame. There is nothing you can do, and that's why here Arjun resigned the game. But yeah, kudos to Gukesh. He was better throughout the game, but he was not able to find the right idea, completely missed on it. But Arjun gave him the last chance to be able to bounce back in the game and get his advantage, and he was finally able to do that. So great game by both the players. Arjun, not getting this one, but he will have chance. He will have a lot of chances there in the FIDE World Cup. Let's see if they both collide there or not. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll be coming back with some of these amazing games, so stay tuned to the channel, stay updated, and I'll be seeing you guys very soon. Thank you very much for watching.